Hello, my friends. Do you recognize me? It's Miss Lacey. I'm not wearing a mask because I'm in my home. I have another story for you. This one's a silly story. It's called If You Give a Moose a Muffin. I wonder if this has to do with a moose here and maybe these muffins that are right here. Maybe they're connected. Let's find out. You Give a Moose a Muffin by Laura Joffe Numeroff. Ooh, okay. Looks like we've got a very happy moose there. He's eating some ivy. A moose is a really big animal. You see a lot of them up in Canada. They've got these great big horns. They're very tall and very heavy, and they could absolutely cause damage. So people try not to mess with them because they're big like bears. You don't want to make them upset. So we see the moose here and we see a house here. And here is a drawing that someone did here to make you see that there's a smell coming out of the window. We can't smell it. So the artist drew this little squiggly thing here so that you can imagine something that smells good. That's a trick that you can do if you're drawing something. If you give a moose a muffin, here's a moose, here's a person, and here they are, and they're tossing a muffin out the window towards the moose. Oh, and that moose looks excited. Oh, look at that moose. That moose, they're ready for that muffin. If you give a moose a muffin, he'll want some jam to go with it. Oh, now he's just letting himself on in. And there's nothing they can do to stop him because he's so big and he's so heavy. Oh gosh, look. This kid didn't expect that to happen, huh? They thought they were going to be nice and just offer him a little muffin. The moose has the muffin, but now it wants some jam. So you'll bring out some of your mother's homemade blackberry jam. Okay, so we've got a full fridge here, and there's the blackberry jam that Mommy made. She made that herself out of blackberries. So we're being polite, I guess, offering that blackberry jam. The moose seems very keen to have it. All right. When he's finished eating the muffin, he'll want another. Oh, look at him sitting so politely there. He's really excited that he got to eat that muffin with that jam. But now he's looking at that tray and he sees there are more muffins. This is a great big moose. That moose could probably put away quite a few muffins, don't you think? And another. Oh gosh. And another. And when they're all gone, he'll ask you to make more. Yeah, because he's a big guy, right? That moose needs more to fill up that tummy. Look at him sitting so politely though at the table. Do you see? All tucked in underneath the table, sitting so nicely. And look, oh, he's keeping his mouth clean. He's using his napkin. It's a polite moose at least. You'll have to go to the store to get some muffin mix. Time to get on the jacket. He'll want to go with you. It's fun going to the store when someone's going shopping, isn't it? It's nice just to get out of the house and go on a little adventure. And maybe sometimes, if you're really good and really lucky, you might get something out of it. You might get a little something extra, like a little prize from one of the coin machines, or maybe a little treat. Doesn't happen all the time, but sometimes. When he opens the door and feels how chilly it is, he'll ask to borrow a sweater. You can see in this picture those fall leaves. Yeah, it's getting kind of cold outside, so that's probably a good time to put on a little sweater or a light jacket. When he puts the sweater on, he'll notice one of the buttons is loose. Well, I'd imagine it would be loose. He's tearing this giant body into this sweater. Look at that. That doesn't fit. That's silly moose. He's trying to put on a people sweater. He's a moose. He'll ask for a needle and thread. So he's not just going to wear this torn up sweater. He's going to fix it with a needle and thread. He'll start sewing. The button will remind him of the puppets his grandmother used to make. Aww. Well, now we're learning something more about the moose. He had a grandmother, and the grandmother used to sew puppets. That's a nice memory to share. But look, while he's sitting there doing the sewing, look what happened. He knocked over the vase of flowers. There's water everywhere. Oh gosh. So he'll ask for some old socks. He's got the flower. He's wearing the sweater. He's asking for some socks now so he can try and make some puppets. He's got a memory and he's going to try and go to reenact it, I think, if he can. He'll make sock puppets. Look, he's being very creative. He's got the socks and he's got all these supplies here to make something clever. I wonder what the puppets are going to look like. What do you think? When they're done, he'll want to put on a puppet show. Well, it'd be a shame to waste such perfectly good puppets. So now we've got a moose and a mouse. Mouse, moose. That's so silly. But he's putting on a show now. Well, that's a nice way to say thank you for the muffins, I think, to give a nice little show. That's fun. He'll need some cardboard and paints. Oh, gosh. So now there's even more. He can't just do the show. He's got to set up a stage, huh? So now here comes cardboard and here comes some paints. He's laying out the newspaper. Oh, they still haven't gotten to the store to get the things they need to make more muffins. What a mess. Then he'll ask you to help make the scenery. Well, at least we get to help. We're part of this. So yes, now our little friend is helping to make the scenery so we can make a whole show. Wow, that's a whole afternoon that's taken up now, isn't it? They're listening to some music though, so I'm sure that's kind of fun. When the scenery is finished, he'll get behind the couch. But his antlers will stick out because he's big. So here's the couch, and there's one antler, and there's the other antler, and there's the puppets. So there's the moose, and there's the mouse. Does it look like our friend is paying attention, though? Oh, that friend looks worn out. That is a tired friend. His antlers will stick out, so he'll ask for something to cover them up. You'll bring him a sheet from your bed. Oh, well, if that's been pulled off the bed, that means the bed is all torn up now. Bed's not made. What a mess. There's just messes all over. When he sees the sheet, he'll remember that he wants to be a ghost for Halloween. Goodness, he'll try it on and shout, "Boo!" What a silly moose. He's pretending to be a ghost. It'll scare him so much he'll knock over the paints. Well, that's not good. Now there's a mess everywhere. And that nice clean sheet is now covered in paint. Just covered. So he'll use the sheet to clean up the mess. Well, now it's a rainbow sheet, I guess. It was white, but now I guess we'll say it's tie-dye. Then he'll ask for some soap to wash it out. So while this kid is cleaning up all this stuff, look at all those empty pots of paint. He's got to carry the music box and all of these other things away. And then he has to find some soap. He'll probably want to hang the sheet up to dry. Well, good, look at that. He got it nice and clean. That's a clean sheet. We still have this other mess out here waiting. But the sheet looks nice. It looks like he got all the stains out. That's lucky. If you clean up a mess right away, it's a lot easier to clean than if you wait and wait and wait, because then it'll get all sticky and stained. So you don't want that. Now, look what's happening out the window. While they're over here messing with this, somebody's out there. You see this lady? She's got on a sweater and a skirt, and there's a rake and these bags, and then we see some leaves here. What do you suppose she's doing? It's fall. She's raking up the leaves so that the yard isn't a big mess. Some people like to leave their leaves there so that way bugs and other creatures can play and live in them, and they'll have a good time there, and it's good for the grass. But some people really want their yards to look a certain way, so they'll clean those things up with a rake. A rake is like a special broom just for the leaves. He'll go outside and put it on the clothesline. So there he is. See, he's dragging it along the ground. I don't know if it's going to stay clean if it's getting dragged across the ground like that. When he's out in the yard, he'll see your mother's blackberry bushes. Oh, gosh. So there's Mom, and there's the bushes. That's how she made that delicious blackberry jam. She had those berries right there. Oh, she's working hard. Seeing the blackberries will remind him of her jam. There, she's got the bag all lined up and closed. She's got her gloves on to keep her hands safe because sometimes those leaves can be really sharp and pokey, so it's good to wear gloves when you're doing lawn work. He'll probably ask you for some more. He really wants more of that jam. But has he remembered to hang up that sheet? Nope. That sheet is still sitting there. There's this mess all around. Ugh, this moose is a mess. And chances are you'll give him the jam. This kid has already given in to every other request. This kid has a hard time saying no to his friends. So he's giving the moose the jam. And the moose has all this other stuff too. So this moose started off just getting a muffin. And now it looks like he's taking half the house. I don't know if Mom's going to like that. Look at her face. Uh-oh. She's starting to realize something's up. If you give him the jam, he'll want a muffin to go with it. Oh, gosh. There he is again, wanting a muffin. Now we're all hiding behind this couch with this horrific mess, and he wants a muffin. And some friends are a lot. And sometimes they have a lot of really good ideas. And those ideas are so much fun. These friends love doing all the wild things. This friend here, this moose, he loved chasing through the house. He loved playing with puppets and painting and baking and trying snacks. He loved all these things. But did you notice what he didn't really, really love? Cleaning up. He cleaned a little, but not a lot. That's going to be a big problem for Mom to deal with. And she's been out working so hard in that yard. She's been doing all that work. So I think that maybe this is a kind of friend that needs to learn to hear the word no. Sometimes we have to say, hey, it's time to slow down. Let's clean this up before we start something new. And it's okay to tell that to your friends. Sometimes your friends need to hear it. It's better than tattling to a teacher and trying to get somebody in trouble. Being a good friend means sometimes helping them to know the right choice. Because it's easy to get excited when you love doing something. So if your friend is getting a little wild and out of control, you can say, hey, let's slow down. We'll put this away and then we'll do your good idea. I'll bet you if that had happened, they wouldn't have that big mess. And they'd probably be baking those muffins right now. And that would have been amazing. And then maybe Mom would have finally gotten a muffin too, because the moose ate all the other ones. Anyway, it was really fun getting to read this story to you, and I hope you had a great time. I'll see you guys next time. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Bye-bye.